Well, it seems it's finally clicked for PlayStation that they need more single player games, especially now after the decline of their first party single player game sales has now sent them reeling to kind of fix up their strategy, especially after cancelling all the live service games they had planned under Jim Ryan for the PlayStation 5 generation, including The Last of Us Factions, a Spider-Man The Great Web MMO game, God of War live service game, and so much more. It seemed originally the PlayStation 5 generation was shaping up to be this live service Sony first party system, but all those plans were scrapped, especially when they saw how much time and money they would need to keep up all of these live service games, and a lot of their first party studios had their games cancelled and are back to the drawing board with what comes next. However, now that they're looking into the distance for the PlayStation 6 generation, which is not long away, they are finally starting to discuss bringing back older IPs and reviving some of their biggest franchises. Franchises like Killzone, Resistance, Ape Escape, Infamous, Motorsport, Sly Cooper, Jak and Daxter, SOCOM, even Uncharted. They're even remaking the original God of War trilogy, and this trilogy will be for the PS6 generation. If there was ever a time to get your hopes up about PlayStation reviving some of your favorite franchises, which I want you to tell me them in the comment section below, now is that time. And it only makes sense for Sony, as this would be an absolutely incredible marketing campaign for the PlayStation 6 generation to make it feel a lot more like the PS2 and PS4 generation, where we have a lot of these older IPs, these exclusive franchises that can only be on PlayStation, getting a lot of these PlayStation mascots back to the forefront of PlayStation. And if hopefully the executives greenlight these games and all of these IPs, or a majority of these IPs, this will be PlayStation's secret weapon for the PlayStation 6 generation, and PlayStation will be finally embracing its past and bringing it forward to the modern day and into the future. Now, there have been multiple rumors from reliable insiders and gaming journalists discussing how Sony is talking about bringing older IPs back from the dead, especially now as how their modern day IPs like God of War, the Ghost of Tsushima games, Last of Us just take so much time to develop, and that's what's affecting their sales of first party games, because they just can't put out enough to sustain the sales that they had seen in the past. Perhaps bringing some of these older IPs back will allow them to create smaller titles that are of the quality that Sony expects for that PlayStation Studios brand. Something like an Ape Escape wouldn't really take 6 years to develop, and developing an Infamous 1 remake will allow them to reuse the assets for an Infamous 2. And having a much more mature superhero game, especially now in the age of The Boys and Invincible, would make a lot of sense, especially for Infamous to return. And having another studio tackle Jak and Daxter, being a legendary PlayStation franchise, I wouldn't believe a Jak and Daxter game would also take 6 to 7 years to develop. There's rumors that something Sly Cooper is already in the works. It is possible that Sony Bend Studio may be working on a new Uncharted game, as Naughty Dog is of course currently working on Intergalactic, and the next project being The Last of Us Part 3. So it seems that there is a good amount in development for the PlayStation 6 generation, as of course alongside the God of War trilogy there will be God of War 6. Perhaps now, because we're getting a brand new God of War LaVey spin-off, we're going to be getting probably more spin-offs in the God of War universe, so it all makes sense for Sony to start planning and greenlighting these projects now, as I'm sure they would want hit after hit after hit for the PlayStation 6 generation, as the PlayStation 5 just hasn't lived up to what the PlayStation 4 generation was, and the PlayStation 6 generation, with older IPs coming back and having a lot of their newer games ready, like Intergalactic, a new Uncharted game, God of War 1 remake and God of War 6, Marvel Spider-Man, Marvel's Venom. PlayStation 6 startup lineup could be absolutely insane, and as the years go on, we may finally get our Infamous games, Jak and Daxter, Killzone, Resistance, and not only remakes of these games, but Sony can also test the waters with these remasters and remakes, whatever they decide to do, to see whether or not they want to move forward with these franchises for us to get a brand new Infamous game or Jak and Daxter. It seems now it just makes business sense for Sony to bring back these franchises. They've had the entire PlayStation 5 generation filled with a lot of struggles and challenges and big failures, and they cannot afford to make that mistake again for the PlayStation 6 generation. Also, it doesn't seem like their brand new live service game Marathon is doing all as well as they hope, so make your prayers that we do get a Destiny 3 for the PlayStation 6 generation for Bungie to continue their Destiny legacy. But with multiple insiders and journalists saying they're hearing things about older IPs coming back, it's a very positive sign, and I want you to tell me in the comments what franchise franchises do you want to see come back? What type of games do you want to see from those franchises? Do you want to see remakes? Do you want to see new games? What other genre games? Give me your pitches for brand new games within these franchises within the comment section below. And guys, it is finally here. The Balboa Club Witch Hunt Collection Volume 1 is now available and will run from December through February, and this drop is specifically inspired by The Witcher, as I wanted to blend the styles of the wrestling world with the games we all know and love. So please go ahead and check out the Balboa Club store. It's on the channel store page, and the website is in the description and pinned comment section below.
Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I wanna be the greatest. Everybody on the fake shit. I look around and feel like everybody is the fakest. I make this every day and I'm impatient, hoping one day I blow up from the basement. Statement.